Testing. It's been a while. We have another good for a wrong timer. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo goo goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo. Painting goo goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. Painting goo goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Ugh, my chi is beginning to fro. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo. Painting goo goo. Painting goo goo. What did we go? Nobody knew. Painting goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Paint rat goo goo goo. Painting goo goo goo. Goo 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 goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. Goo goo goo. Goo 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 goo. Painting goo. Goo 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 goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. Goo 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 goo. Painting goo. Goo 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 goo. Everybody put your hands together for our very own resident petrified primate, Milo the monkey, playing us in on another glorious episode of Painting Goo. Where's the buttons? There we go. There we go. Greetings, my beloved Japonaita, and welcome to another glorious episode of Painting Goo, as I descend into proper Painting Goo posture. Oh, that's not surprising. There we go. Glorious. I have descended into proper Paintingu posture, revering my glorious refruffy top knot. Oh, it's been a while. I have been away, doing things. Various things. Very varied things. But now I return. I return to you, the turn of the tide. What tide has turned? I know not. All I know is that my fucking... This is dirty. Dirty. It's like that episode of Black Books. Dirty. Right. I got everything. Water. Goo. Tiny gong. I didn't like... I'm currently working on shit, so I didn't put the map up. But it's not a big deal. You can see Boris in the background there. Forgive me, I look like shit. I am exhausted. Sleep lately has been varied, as well as the timing of it. I think today was the first day in a while where I got up like about 8 o'clock or something like. Oh, right. Monday. Fucking Monday. As I press my royal rag upon my divine knee in preparation for the goo. Because things get messy on Paintingu. They do. Oh. 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 That's just coffee. There's lots and lots of coffee. Oh, and sourdough. Coffee and sourdough. Oh, hey. Oi! Welcome. Mon fucking day. Mon fucking day. Indeed. Right. Let us get the chi frowing so that the goo can get frowing. To and fro. Haven't heard this in a while now. It's been 2 weeks. 2 weeks, Sangu. Right. I can't even remember where we are. We got Kennel exit. What was the other one? Kennel exit. I. Kennel exit I. So I have to finish off the monster coming out of the kennel. We have an exit sign to finish off the deer that like is looking up at the monster. The parrot that's looking at the monster. Can't remember where we are though. Where the fuck did Togo? Africa. Of course. Of course we're in fucking Africa. Where else would we be? Right. Metal. Intense metal out of nowhere. Sorry. My apologies. Jesus. My nervous system. Let's start that a bit. Let's start from the beginning. Oh. Glorious. Right. Let's get these bitches wet. This needs more white. Everything needs more white these days. What's the fuck with that, like? Let me see. Everything needs more white. All of it. Paintingu. Paintingu. Painting, goo 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 goo. Painting. Goo 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 goo. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh! My neck began to spasm. I must correct my posture. My posture is terrible. Paintingu. Paintingu. Excuse me, Micah. Paintingu. No squeaking, Micah. Ah, dig for you! And now to keep you on your toes a mettering goo from nowhere. It's not my fault. Brave browser remembers exactly where you were and just like starts again. Which I like. Paint goo. How are you, Dick Ford? Are you well? How are you, brother? Right. Painting. Painting. My posture. I must correct my posture. It's been a while since I painted at an angle like this. 2 weeks to be precise. Two weeks without goo. Is the village still standing? You're great and grateful. Excellent. Good to hear it. Good to fucking hear it. I need some tissue to solve this issue. The bitch is too wet. She must be dried. To be wetted again. To be dried again. A vicious circle of dryness and wetness. Right. Painting, goo, 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 goo. Right. Let the eyes dry. Now, while the eyes dry, I suppose I could put another coat on the deer. Make him stand out a bit more. Give him a tongue. Painting, goo, goo, goo. Goo 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 goo. Some of the deer does look a bit shit. I will remedy this. Painting, goo 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 goo. Take some oranga. Dash of red. A pinch of brew. Brave is like getting into the car on a Sunday morning after headbangers Saturday night. Ah. I was in the bed there the other day, woke up and tried to look at something on my phone, and I knew the sound was going to come on, so I tried to turn the sound all the way down, and whatever the way the case is on my phone, it's like the buttons don't line up correctly. So sometimes when I hit the down button, it actually hits the up button. So I clicked on the thing, and instead of fucking going basically mute, it went all the way up and the phone has a really good speaker on it. It just started blaring the video. I was like, fucking stupid. It woke Emma up and all. I hate shit like that. Drives me mad, technology not doing what you wanted to. There were no dry eyes in the village in your absence, but nothing caught fire this time. See, I'm a shade off. Excuse me, Micah. Painting, painting. Painting Google. Google, 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 Google. Painting Google. What are you pointing at? What are you pointing? What? The light, what about it? Does that help? I don't know, turn it off. A little bit? Like a little tiny bit? Painting Goo. Painting Goo. Painting Goo, 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 Goo. Painting Goo, 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 Goo. Oh, God. Painting Goo, 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 Goo. This deer's gonna look fucking hilarious when I put the pupil on him. It's an excellent angle. That white takes a while. That white takes a while to dry. A while. Takes a while. A wire. I can still see the sheen on it. Where's my tissue? I've recently realized that when it comes to like certain techniques with the painting, that I've just been like fucking retarded. Like I'm using too much water, using too much paint, using the wrong brushes for the wrong things, all sorts of stuff. Like, but it's hilarious, like being self-taught and being in those situations where like long periods of time will go by, you'll be doing the same stuff over and over again, and you'll be doing like I try to watch YouTube videos while I'm doing other shit and like pick stuff up in the background over time, like, you know, and like practice new things and get myself outside my comfort zone, yada yada yada. And every so often I'm just like, I've been doing it this way this whole time when I could have just been doing it this way and it would have been so much better. Fuck. But like, that's one of those things that just happens in life, in all aspects of your life, especially adult life. As you become more aware and you retrospectively look back at your past and you're like, fuck me, I'm retarded. Like, thank you for the update on the Virage, DHB. Was wondering if all was lost to the radio. Oh yeah. Last 2 weeks, everything was up in the air. Nobody knew what was going on. Was I dead? Like, did the Monkey King send another monkey and this one strangled me? Painting goo. Goo, goo, goo. Goo, goo, goo. Yeah, sure. You should put hot water in it. Painting goo goo. Goo goo goo. There we go. There we go. Like we're on a Paintingu vessel approaching somewhere, and it's like, there, that, there we go. Over there is where we go. Nothing like discovering a random sharp object in your boot to keep you focused at work. Well, how'd that get there? Paintingu. Paintingu. Looking good. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Goo 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 goo. What's this guy's name again? Jacob Lazzotti? Lazzotto? Or whatever? I can't remember. Seriously, fucking such good music. Wouldn't be surprised to like find out that he used like AI or some shit, like, do you know what I mean, or whatever. I don't know. But honestly, I couldn't give a fuck. It's good shit. It's like those AI videos of Bigfoot. Fucking hilarious. I don't care if they're made with AI. It's so fucking funny. Painting goo goo. Painting goo goo. Painting goo goo. Yeah, deer's standing out a bit more now. Right, let's see if we can surgically apply the pupil to the deer. I think the bird is gonna need another round, maybe. It's not wide enough! It's like, those of you who have been long-time viewers and listeners of Paintingu will know that "it's not white enough" is one of the many P's of Paintingu. No idea, I just know my toe hurts, but too busy to care. No worries, Milo kept us all up to date with his howls and screams. Need to get a bastard monkey interpreter. It's like, Well, Milo did show up on several of our doorsteps over the past few weeks. Flinging his shit about the place. Thank you. Paintingu, goo goo goo. Ugh. Alright, hold on. Pretty good. It's not as good as I wanted it to be, but it's pretty good. It'll do. That'll do, pig. Right. Need to encapsulate this eye. I must encapsulate this eye horror. Well, eye bar. Painting goo 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 goo. Paint the goo to watch the goo dry. Ooh ooh. Painting goo 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 goo. Ooh. Paint the goo to watch the goo dry. Ooh ooh. Paint the goo to watch the goo dry. Ooh, ooh. Paint the goo to watch the goo dry. Kind of have to give it green, like a green iris, don't I? I don't think any other one will suit right now. So beautiful. Painting goo goo. Goo 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 goo. Painting goo goo. Goo 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 goo. You give it a slit, like a fucking, like a crocodile. Make it look like a crocodile's eye. Messy as fuck right now, but we'll fix it. We'll fix it. It's all about just finding the curve. Get the right curve. It's like I've said before, it's like you're carving it, you know? Paintingu. 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 Goo goo goo. Goo goo goo. Bird's eye's still a little bit wet. Impressive. Probably put the bird's eye on now. I think I'll get away with it. Terrible. Better. Paintingu. Try to make it brighter. This deer is a bit dull. Painting. Goo goo. Painting. Goo goo. Painting goo goo. Goo 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 goo. This is better. I wonder what a stepperoo is to do. His absence is heretical. That guy's just busy with life these days. And I completely understand. But yes, he will still have to commit seppuku multiple times to make up for this heresy. Paintingu. Paintingu. Painting. Goo goo. Painting goo goo. It's a very messy demon eye. Very gooey. Let me see. It's a lot of paint on that. Very gooey. Yes, we will start again. Painting. Goo goo. finish off this parrot's beak to the underside of it. I'll let that dry and then make another eye. What can we do in the meantime? There's plenty of space for all sorts of little creatures. Trying to do a symmetrical around the design of a rabbit's head at the moment. So bunnies on the brain. Make him a grey bunny. There we go, brown and orange here. Make him a grey bunny. Painting, goo goo, goo goo, goo goo. Painting, goo goo, goo goo, goo goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Goo 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 goo. Goo goo goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo goo. Deer are not known for their intelligence. Indeed, it is dur. Painting goo 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 goo. Bow 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 bow. wondering if the white I left in that tub. Wondering if the pigment has fallen. Let me see. It's a bit goopy. It's probably dry enough. Let me see. Applying it with a dry brush seems to be a lot better. Which makes sense. Even the slightest amount of water makes it very transparent. Because the white I'm using right now isn't the gouache. It's like basic acrylic, you know, poster paint stuff. It's okay, you know. Dries matte. There is that. At least that. It dries matte. But it takes a lot of time to dry if it's like built up. Like that'll probably take a while to dry. It's fascinating. Different mediums. Nice fruffy tail. Yeah, that rabbit's gonna take a while to dry. It's so funny because like the rest of it's pretty much dry, but the white part, the parts that I did that are just white, it's hilarious. There's such a drastic difference between the basic stuff and then that Turner acryl gouache shit. Like, such a drastic difference in both texture and like opacity and all that. Like, it's mad. Like, it is worth though. Like, it's worth it getting good with the shit stuff, you know. It's worth it getting good with the low quality acrylics. You can kind of get this finish. Like, not really, kind of. Like, those sketches I put up on TikTok and then Telegram, like, you know, they're just like really basic shitty acrylics. Like, actually the other ones there behind, not the poster paints I'm using right now. And there's even there's a difference in consistency with those ones. Like this white over here. Like, be careful not to knock everything over. Now, this stuff doesn't dry matte. It dries that satin, you know, it's like almost matte. But the consistency of this stuff is completely different to the consistency of this shit. This stuff's kind of gooey. Almost has like an elastic quality to it. When you're taking the paint from, like, if you just have like a little blob of paint on the palette and you're pressing the brush into it, when you pull away, that poster paint stuff, it's very gooey. Whereas this stuff's more like creamy, you know, buttery. Like, it's mad. The difference is like crazy. Like, because I'm just looking at this right now. It's taken ages to dry, and it's such a small amount of paint. Like. Fucking chairs blocking the bin over there. Yeah, you're back. That's the crack, Emmanuel. You well? How you been? Let me see. Give me this one. Paintingu, goo. Oh, it farted. It farted. Yeah, it's not gooey. The other one's gooey. That's so weird. But the poster paint does dry matte. Like it does. Like it dries completely matte, but it's gooey. Yeah, like it's like elasticy or something. Like, it's like stringy. That's actually mad. Like, and it's all just acrylic. Like, fucking. Like, let's give this a shot. I find this stuff to actually be like... This stuff's more opaque. Depending on how you use it. This stuff spreads like butter and dries like chalk. But it's not a matte finish. It's weird. Because sometimes it looks like it's going to dry to a matte finish, but then the light hits it. It's mad, like. I'd love to know, like, just the straight up, like, chemical compound, like, of each one. Like, just have the raw materials in front of me. Just to be able to look at it and study it and be like, ah. Because, like, a lot of it, you know, like, pigment, they got everything from, like, chalk to, like, ground up flower petals. Like, it's like, or rocks, you know, like, all these different forms of pigmentation and shit, like, and then oil or water-based stuff, like. The best stuff for me, though, like I want, like, vibrant, intense color, opaque, and dries quickly, you know. Which I know there's somebody out there like being like, well, that's asking a lot. Like, I mean, you have all these wet mediums, you know. You want it to dry really quick, so you can put more wet medium on. You want that to dry really quick, like. But this shit does it. I mean, like, this stuff really is class. You really notice the difference when you start using the basic stuff again, like, because this shit literally acts like watercolor and oil and acrylic all at the same time. Just depends on how much water you put with it, like, and how long you leave it to dry and stuff, like. It's fascinating. There's just such a noticeable texture difference between, like, the stuff that I know is gouache, the Turner Acryl gouache, and then the stuff that clearly has, like, some of the acrylic in it. Because, like, the gouache is, like, flat, completely flat, you know, to the point where it just looks like I've dyed the paper a certain color. Whereas the other stuff, there's a texture to it, you know. It comes up off the page. I was painting with inks there a while ago. Me likey. I drew hairy Mickeys on my ballot to spoil my vote. Yay, kittens. Yeah, a lot of people spoiled their vote, apparently. Like, hundreds of thousands of people spoiled their vote, apparently. Which, like, you know, cool, I suppose, you know. What does it do, though? You know? Like, they said, like, how funny is that? Like, a lot of people didn't vote, a lot of people spoiled their vote, but they still counted what votes they had and announced a new president. How is that a democracy? It's just, like, fundamentally flawed, but whatever. I suppose I'm just an ignorant peasant, really. Anyway, let's announce today's phrase of the fucking day. With the help of my feathery friend and my tiny gong, with a mighty song, I will announce today's phrase of the day. Inspire you, make you laugh. All that good shit. Where is it? Where is it? There we go. Right. Today's phrase of the day. When you have it's in Japu. So I will do in Japu first do. When you have a fat friend do, there are no seesaws, only catapults. The word catapults in Japu is catapults. In English. Like, when you have a fat friend, there are no seesaws, only catapults. That's genuinely hilarious. And you came up with that in like no time at all. Like like 2 hours before the stream or something. He was like, "Do you need a phrase?" I was like, "Hi." When you have a fat friend, there are no seesaws, only catapults. Like that's actually brilliant. Like when you have a fat friend, every seesaw becomes a catapult. That's actually brilliant. This concludes today's phrase of the day. We're losing frames. What the fuck? I saw jittering. I saw it. Democracy exceeds by failing every time it has been tried. Yeah, I know. It's fucking hilariously similar to communism. End of phrase. Resume music. Resume tune. Yeah, like that looks like it's drying a lot quicker. Anyway. Oh, excuse me. It doesn't dry as nearly as quickly as I wanted to. But it is what it is. But that's what, like, I've noticed that it's like drying your brush really helps, not having excess water on the brush, because it just dilutes the acrylic. And then just like, you know, gently stab the paint. Just get some paint on the brush. And then it's like, goes on. Nice opaque layer. And it dries pretty quick. Which is exactly what I want, you know? Do not blame the tool. Examine how you are using it. I first noticed that, well, not that I noticed that, but one of the things that I noticed when I was using watercolors is use less water. Painting is definitely one of those things, from what I've discovered, it's like less is more. Visually as well, it's like just a painting for me personally. Obviously it's like a preference thing, but personally for me, when everything is flat and the light isn't catching all of these little imperfections of like the paint coming up from the page, that to me makes an image look more like a window into something than it actually being something that's in front of you, you know. It like for me, from my mind's eye, it allows me to go into the image more, because there's no light from the real world affecting the image, you know. I think that's why I like matte so much. It's like no shine, just color, and that allows your eye to like actually inhabit. It allows your consciousness to actually inhabit the what's in the painting, versus, you know, And I know, like, you could achieve that as well. Like, if you know what you're doing and you use light the right way, and you like hang a painting on a wall and the light is hitting it the right way, like with certain oil paintings, they look real. It looks like a fucking photo or something. Like, but like I said, it's like it's not the tool. It's how you use it, the tool. You know. Bunny's eyes are nearly dry. Get some more on there now. Want this to be totally white. Yeah, it's like you can dry brush the harshness out of acrylics. The stickiness and the harshness, like if you're timing it right and you do it right, like if you have like wet brushes and dry brushes, you can dry brush the stickiness out of it. It's kind of similar to charcoal, or like you do a harsh line with charcoal and then you just like rub it out. You can like rub along it and it'll go from black to grey, you know, because it starts... The particles are now like spreading out. Because they're spreading out, more of the paper's coming through, you know. It's fascinating. Glad you approve. Oh yeah, it was a funny one, man. You have a fat friend. There's no such thing as seesaws, only catapults. It's hilarious. P, 2, G. So we can brighten them up a bit. Take some of that nice creamy white. Tiny bit of black. Two. The rabbit sits in nicely. Excellent. At wrong rest, runch timeu. Oh, excuse me. Oof. Sumimasen. Stuff takes so long to dry in comparison to the other shit. I can still see that the eye is like pretty much wet. Like if I start working with that, it's all just gonna blend together into a mush again. Like. Perfect. Trying to expedite the drying process of this eyeball. That's one wet ball. Oh, I thought it was done. I will have to invest in a little artist's hairdryer thing, and it'll just look hilarious when I mute myself and I'm here with a hairdryer and the music is playing. It will only add to the goo. It's working. Things can always be whiter. Nearly there. We're basically back where we were before I tried to do the lid. Part of me just wants to do a lot of teeth and shit. I don't fucking know. Very satisfied with the rabbit though. The rabbit is excellent. Looking really good, Domo. Yeah, it turned out pretty well. We've been on this one for ages because we had, well, obviously because we had a 2-week break, but like. And then I was talking with Matt over the weekend. I had an idea where like I might just give the PEINTEINGU formula a break for a while, give myself a mental break. And I'll just stream as me, you know, none of the stuff, or at least mentally, like, not feel like I need to do that. And we'll just make something up, like me in the chat. So, like, we'll basically do what we do in PEINTEINGU, but without an environment, maybe, you know. Do a lot of characters or something, or whatever, like, you know. Do a shoe on fire being thrown at a fucking yacht. I don't, like, just make it up. Ugh. Yeah, the only thing to work on really is the monster. Much time we got? Half an hour? I don't know if that'll be long enough. I think the new formula would be a fun change of pace. Yeah, like instead of just being like pick a number or whatever, I'll literally just have a blank page and I might even just start sketching, and like I'll start us off and then I'll just be like, what are we doing? What does it look like? You know, can you see Anton? What are you feeling today? What's on your mind, kind of thing, like. Because it would be funny to, like, it's funny and fun to try and alter things and add to things as you're going, you know. Like, you could start off with like, oh, it looks like a rabbit. Start doing a rabbit, and then be like, make it a cyborg rabbit. You start like adding bits onto it and stuff. It's like stick it in a car, you know, and then like just put a car around it, like, you know, just make it up as we go, like. Like the rabbit's eye is like totally dry. It's just a fucking monster thing now. I'd like to get this one done today, you know. Just fucking finish it, like. Yeah, I have lemon yellow here. Hold on a minute. want to get like a proper monster green, like, you know. Getting there. That's a nice green. It's a nice bright green. Okay. It's mad, that poster paint is actually kind of hard to get off the brush. Painting goo 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 goo. That's better. That's a better angle. I think. Oh, I already read that one. I saw hair there. No, I'm still got this. Thanks. Right, we have a much better eye this time. I need to put a lid on this thing and then give it a fucking crocodile pupil. You check out that Lotus Eaters thing I sent you yesterday. Oh yeah. Fucking Nick Fuentes being like, you like your little gay little hobbits with like the power of friendship and all, like rhetorically very, very powerful. Like very powerful rhetorically, because like there's an argument that he's right, because they're very like, you know, oh Frodo, and they all have like, you know, very girly hair and they're all wearing girly shirts and stuff. Like, to me it's like what Owen said about, like, you know, what was it, like the guy that wrote the fucking, was it the New Testament or something, like fucking what's it called, the something but the John something Bible, is it oh, I can't remember. You know what I'm talking about. Fucking looking at kings and, like, you know, nobles and stuff in like the medieval area, and they look ridiculous, and they're all wearing makeup and high heels and fucking all this flowery shite. Like, they're all fucking fags. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they're all a bunch of queers with their little, like, dainty little swords and stuff. Like, this is very true. Now, obviously, there's the other side of it, where it's like what it represents, and like there's obviously those other elements of Lord of the Rings that are like incredibly masculine and noble and all this stuff. Like, but that clip of him being like, yeah, well, you have your little fucking, you know, the power of friendship and like gay little hobbits and gay wizards and all this stuff, and I'll stick with Game of Thrones, like where people just randomly get their head cut off, because that's real life and all. Like, obviously he's wrong. Obviously, like, you know, obviously the reality is not that. But he's really good at what he does. I think that's why Owen hates him so much, is because King James, thank you. Fucking. Like, I completely see why Owen is shitting all over him, and rightly so, because he's like, when you're, it's like, if you acknowledge the fact that we're in a culture war, Nick Fuentes is very good at what he does, which is give young men a, like, an anti-idol, like, not idol, role model. Whereas I would consider Owen Benjamin to be somebody who is like a good role model, especially for like dudes anywhere from 16 to, like, you know, 30 or whatever. For his like his outlook on life and, like, you know, morals and principles, like basic fundamental principles of, you know, this is good, this is bad, and this is why, you know. Nick Fuentes is essentially the antithesis of that. Like, he is the anti that. He's the opposite of Owen Benjamin, where he's completely funded and propped up, completely sold out, completely fake. Like, he's not authentic at all. That young fella, like, is really, really gay. You can just tell that, like, he would love, like, he wants to be dominated by a man. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that young fella wants to be dominated by a male he perceives to be his daddy. Do you know what I mean? Like, he wants to be Iago, he, like, you know, to Jafar. He wants to be Grima Wormtongue to Saruman. Do you know what I mean? Like, Nick Fuentes is the, like, what are we gonna do now, master? Like, that's what Nick Fuentes is. But that archetype is incredibly powerful in certain arenas. He's obviously not powerful physically, but rhetorically and morally, like when you're talking about the morale of an army or the morale of a people, the voice of somebody like Nick Fuentes being like out there in the mainstream, and then like being on things like Alex Jones, is it Alex Jones, and then sure, even Jake Shields spoke to him. I know Jake Shields' podcast isn't huge, but it reaches a lot of people because he's like, because of who he is and who he's connected to and shit. Like, so like on the chessboard that is the culture war, Nick Fuentes is, if you're playing the culture war game, you'd want to get rid of him, because he's very, like, for the same reason that they don't like Owen, people on our side of the play don't like Nick Fuentes. He's poisonous. He's a poison fruit. He's a corrupt apple, and any apple he comes in contact with is going to get corrupted by him, you know. So like, yes, he's a piece of shit. Yes, I find him utterly deplorable. I find him disgusting to an unnerving degree. Like, his aura is pestilent. But like, credit where credit is due. He's very good at his job. Because when I listened to that clip of him being like, you have your power of friendship and gay wizards and all, like, there's an element of truth to it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, especially when you look at from the perspective of a younger person, a younger male, who's like, because like, I remember at one point in my life I was like, ugh, mage, like, who wants to be a gay mage? Who wants to be a magician? Who wants to be a wizard with your fucking robe and your staff? Like, do you know what I mean? Get out. Like, you know, what I want is a big dirty fucking greatsword and a fucking shield and like the flaming power of Hades and fucking like, I want to smite my enemies, like, and all this shit. Like, you want to be like, you're like fueling up with testosterone and masculinity as you become a man. Like, do you know what I mean? You want to embody like toughness and like apathy and fucking like dogma. That's why the Space Marines from Warhammer 40k are so fucking famous in certain circles, because they're like the epitome of masculinity, you know, almost to a fault. Like, do you know what I mean? Same reason everybody liked 300 the movie, you know. It's like that. They are men. They're fucking men. Now, obviously, you could get into the semantics and the nitty gritty of it, and be like, there's aspects of the 300 movie and the 300 story and like Spartans and all. This is like gay as fuck. Like, they literally were gay. Like, these fuck each other for like all sorts of reasons, dominance and like man boy love and all this shit. Like, which is just like, I think it's funny how people would be like, oh, the Romans and like the Greeks and shit like that. It's like, so you'll look at the Mexica or the Aztec or the Inca or, you know, whatever, and they're like cutting people's hearts out of their chests and like ripping them apart and in broad daylight in front of each other. You know, it's okay, they're from a different village over there, you know, like, and then you go to Africa and they're like putting bones through their noses and shit and fucking, I mean, they were doing that in the Americas as well, but like the Africans are like just as brutal. Do you know what I mean? Like, they had like you know, guys like Shaka Zulu and stuff like that. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, those guys killed lions as a trial by fire. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they're no joke. Like, it's like, these are the kind of, these huge Nubian fuckers that would like take many women, like, and all this shit. Like, and it's the same with the Taliban and the Middle. It's like that's why woke has worked, is because there's a truth to the patriarchy thing, where there's like, there's a the archetype of the bad, tyrannical, corrupt king or alpha male or patriarch. The bad patriarch is oppressive and violent and impulsive, and it's like the orcs out of Warhammer 40k. It's like the biggest, baddest orc is the one in charge. It's tribalism. That's barbarism. Do you know what I mean? We're supposed to be civilized now the past couple of 100 years, like with Christianity and all this stuff. Like, we came to the enlightened mind, and the Romans and the Greeks had a bit of it, but they were still kind of fleshing things out and now with the Jungian and the Freudian and all this fucking shit, and it's like, you know, consciousness and the human, you know, experience and all this shit, like, and then you come into human rights and all this jargon, where it's like the whole argument is over like who gets to tell each other what to do and why, because a lot of us don't believe in God anymore. So who can claim authority over anyone? Like, you know what I mean? All this bullshit. Like, it's the reason why somebody Nick Fuentes works is because he's very pathological. Like, you know, he's a hate monger. He's a rage baiter. He's a hate monger. He's a disgusting little runt of a thing. He watches Game of Thrones only for the frontal male news. I wouldn't be surprised, man. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Like, Nick Fuentes strikes me as the kind of guy that his favorite character is what's that fucker's name? The one that castrates. I can't remember any of their name. Is it Theon? The one that castrates. The one that he turns Theon into Reek or whatever his name is. Something Bolton. I think his name is Bolton or some shit. The Boltons. The one that like Sansa Stark feeds to his own dogs or something at the end. I can't remember. Like, she fucking. Fuentes strikes me as the kind of guy where that little psychopath is like his favorite character. You know? Whereas the rest of us would look at that little fucker and be like, oh shit, like, you need to deal with him because he's a problem. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he's a little fucking, like, a proper masochist, a sadist. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you know, there's a nobles and men of honor take no necessary, like obviously there would be some satisfaction in it, but not necessarily pleasure. You're not supposed to take pleasure in killing your enemy. There might be satisfaction in the sense of like, it is done, you know, we have won, victory has been achieved, this is good. But you would still, like, if you're still connected to the divine unseen forces and you still have a soul, then there's a part of you that's going to regret killing another man. Do you know what I mean? Like I could, like, as stoic as you would ideally want to be and all, like, you kill another man in open combat and whatever, and it's all honorable and everybody accepts the outcome. He's still got a wife and kid, like, do you know what I mean? She's gonna be devastated. The kid's gonna be devastated. Like, to me, it's like that's why the ideal, the ideal scenario is thou shalt not kill. Don't kill each other, because no, like, even when you agree on a principled moral framework of killing each other, it doesn't stop the emotions of loss and grief. So even if you have a culture of like, this is how we do things, this is the honorable thing to do, like, you must accept that your father is dead now because that man over there killed him, and there's nothing wrong with that. You just have to accept that. Children aren't gonna understand that. Do you know what I mean? Children don't understand that shit. They're like, a part of most children is gonna be like, that's the guy who killed my father, you know, no matter the reason. So like, there's almost a, like, well, not almost, like, I think there is a enlightened logic to battling through the mind, you know. And that's why we have the world we have today, where like, nobody's got a boot on your neck, nobody's waving a sword at you, nobody's threatening to like take your woman or some shit if you don't pledge allegiance. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, it's all a choice, it's all mental, it's all on screens, it's all fake. It's like, you know, for the most part, obviously there's still interaction with the real world, but like, in terms of like facing dark forces, none of us have had to do it. None of us have had to defend our village. None of us have had to go kill a fucking lion. None of us are, like, most men, if not like practically all of us men alive right now, did not face a trial by fire whatsoever. And now a lot of our fucking women think they can be men. Do you know what I mean? A lot of our men think they can be women. Like, to me, it's like, it's fucked. It's totally fucked. The only way that this resolves itself is by the snake eating itself and it all just imploding in on itself, so it turns to dust, and then we can grow something from the ashes, you know. And Nick Fuentes is a character that's like a key component of just like spreading rot so that it collapses in on itself. Like, as disgusting as he is, like him and people like Destiny and all, like, I try to think of them as not, I don't like the term necessary evil, because that doesn't describe what I'm trying to articulate. It's almost like like God's rule set dictates that people like that exist. People like that are meant for you to witness what not to do. That's basically it. And I know it's like they do shit and they say shit and time goes on and it's like, oh, have you seen what they said now and stuff, and it's like, it's painful to watch a lot of people, especially young people, gravitate towards stuff like that and buy into stuff like that. It's not nice. And that savior complex can give you that want and that feeling, that need to like save people. But everybody's got free will and it's their own choice. And whether they make it in this world is up to them, not you. They're not your children, you know. Even if they are physically your children, they're still not your children. They're God's children, you know. They have their own life. They have their own journey. You are simply a facilitator, you know, and a guide and a protector or whatever. Like, and again, stuff like that is why people like us like would hate somebody like Nick Fuentes, because he's basically making it easier. He's like, he's saying stuff that creates a mental framework and an emotional framework for the environment to arise that PDF files have an easier time of finding prey. That's what's so deplorable about people like him and Destiny and all. It's like they're the result of their rhetoric is Sodom and Gomorrah, you know. Funnily enough, I was thinking he's more of a Joffrey fan. I don't know. I think he's self-aware enough to like find Joffrey annoying, and he'd probably hate Joffrey. He'd probably look at Joffrey and be like, "Oh, if I was Joffrey, I'd be a better king than Joffrey." Do you know what I mean? Like, he probably looks at Joffrey and goes like, "Oh, you're such a little like bitch. I'd be doing such a better job than you." Like, you know. Like, Fuentes, like, honestly comes across like he wants to do dark shit, you know. Same as Destiny. They're the type of dudes that, like, if I had any authority, they would be arrested, you know, thoroughly investigated, and just locked up, you know. Like, I would desire an end to them, but the responsibility of having the authority and being in charge, what I would actually end up doing, I'd probably just ended up locking them up and throwing away the key, like, or whatever. Like, making sure they had no access to anything online. Like, I wouldn't even give them a fucking phone call. Like, you know what I mean? I just put them in a hole. Like, just get rid of them, like. Because, like, if that's the, like, there's, sometimes I struggle with that, like, morally, where I'm like, is thou shalt not kill actually, like, shooting you in the foot? Because you can't kill them, so you end up coming up with all of these different ways around killing them. It's like, oh, we'll put them in a cage, you know, and then there's like all the consequences of keeping them in a cage for years and years and years and years, and then you have prisons that like basically just make you know, like fuck all people go into prison and come out a better person. It happens, don't get me wrong, but like the majority, like, do you know what I mean? It's just like this churning, revolving door of degeneracy and negative behavior, like, you know. It's like, anyway, I'm just rambling. Being treated as a zoo animal would be preferable alternative for the fantasy types. I wouldn't even want people to, like, you know, I wouldn't want anybody to view them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I literally would just like a fucking, like that scene in Indiana Jones where, like, they put the fucking they put the Grail in a box and there's just this massive warehouse full of boxes, like, or the scene from Minority Report where they all just get put in these, they all just get knocked out with the halos and just put in this, like, chemical. Yeah, like, that's probably a good idea. Like, chemically induced coma. Just put, like... Oh, man. Yeah, like, what do you do with people like that? You know? But anyway, I'm over. Over me fucking time. And this shit still isn't dry, I'm telling you. That poster paint is fucking... takes ages to dry, man. It's actually mad annoying. Anyway. Right, well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream tomorrow. I have a meeting with that fucking group tomorrow. Trying to finish the logo for it. I don't know if I'll be on Wednesday because we have another fucking... we're doing another building. We're putting up more paintings. But I'll let you know. I will let you know. I will try goo for you, but if I can't, I've got reasons. I've got very good reasons. Right. Painting. Okay, okay. The fascist in me says face the wall for most problems, yeah. If goo is a no-goo, then so be it, yeah. Goo or no goo? There's no try. Right. Much love. I'll talk to you soon. Be good, be true, and be beautiful. And pay for painting goo. You scum.